Hello, my friends. I would ask you to take a nice breath. Big sigh. Let the breathing come back to normal. Welcome. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge. Welcome for the first time or for many times. So delighted to be here with you today. And I'm delighted to be here with you today because today is so very, very powerful. We can change our life today if we recognize the power of a single day. I recall as a young boy, I started doing practice at quite early, and started studying different meditation resources quite early. And by the age of 11, I was really deep into it. And going on 13, 14, I looked at people very, very closely, and I recall right around that age when my mother turned 40, giving her suggestions about aging well, and talking to people about the instantaneous nature of time. That time was actually instantaneous. That it's all happening at once. That we exist in our life almost as people living in different rooms. I'm here, and there's the boy I was in the room over there. So interesting that I was saying these types of things so early. But it's one thing to make contact with something, even if you really feel it. And it's another thing to actually experience it. And I have experienced that, the instantaneous nature of time. I've experienced it by life going by just like that. At 58 now, at 58 years old, I am amazed at the incredible progression of time. I was, not that I was into this movie, but I remember when the movie Teen Wolf came out, I was kind of perusing the internet, and I saw that Teen Wolf had come out like something like 37 years ago or something like that. And I remember vividly when that came out. I actually never even saw the movie, but I remember when it came out. And it's just like that. And it's like that for everything, all these details in our life that seem so expansive. And then all of a sudden, it's 30 years later. You know what it's like. Even younger people have experienced it. I hear my daughter, who's 14, talking about how fast time is going by. It reminds me of some of my studies. And one of the elements that I've studied, quite a lot are the samurai. Books like this, The Code of the Samurai, and this is actually one of my very favorite books, the Hagakure. In the Hagakure, on the first page of the Hagakure, it tells us this: the way of the samurai is found in death. The way of the samurai is found in death. The great swordsman Miyamoto Musashi, who also, I believe, wrote the Book of Five Rings, he said that generally speaking, the way of the warrior is found in acceptance of death. And to me, this is a very, very powerful relationship to understanding and shifting that relationship to the instantaneous nature of time. Because when we actually feel that, if you don't have a good relationship to death, it creates a sort of latent anxiety. And I would suggest that a lot of what's happening to people is a latent anxiety about death, about transition, about change, about becoming something new that you don't understand. So I just want to ask you to consider a different relationship, a different framing to that. It's so vitally important to frame things in a way that makes you feel like you're winning. And this relationship to passing out of this world actually gives us power if we have a good orientation to it. I mean, think about it. Today we wake up and we have no guarantee we're going to sleep tonight. Now, really taking that on today, if you really take that on, it gives you power. It gives you power because you want to live today the way you really feel is in union with what you really value. Do you really want your last act to be having a road rage incident where you're arguing with someone, or maybe treating someone you love in the way that you really don't want to? What a powerful thing. One of my very, very best friends who passed away, the last day that I saw him, he was in hospice, and he asked me to stay, and his mother came walking in the room, and she had just come in from out of town to be with him, and I said, "I'll be back because your mom's here." And I left, and I never saw my friend again. The way of the warrior is found in death. It's in recognizing, if this was my last moment, how do I want to be? So I just want to ask you to consider that and understand, not this framing doesn't work for everyone. but if you can make use of it, it can change your life. And it really connects us to how we want to be, and also the relationship to injustice, and how we want to be towards that. Now, I'm not saying that we can just dedicate ourselves to that issue of injustice, but really it's part of every good person's relationship to life. And I think we're all good people, is to have a relationship to saying something or doing something to inhibit injustice anywhere in the world. So today, live your life today with the power of understanding that you want to make yourself up to who you want to be today. So thank you so much. And by the way, I also, this book, The Hagakure, was also the central core of a movie called Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, which is one of my absolute favorite movies with Forrest Whitaker. So I would highly suggest you track that down. And another, excuse me, another movie that I think would be really great for you to check down, it's not exactly in the same vein, but it's incredibly beautiful, is Why Did Bodhidharma Leave for the East? And I'll link that below because you can see it on YouTube. So thank you so much for your time. And today I'm committed to living with that power, because if I'm ready today for this to be my last day, then this is going to be a beautiful day. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. If today were your last day, live it with an openness to life. Live it with an openness to change. Live it with joy. I bring my hands to prayer position. I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you.